All right, I have returned, and thinking about this, something I was thinking about, how to introduce this. So let me bail out of this really quick. Let's see what we got, and we're gonna commit everything. So I was talking with someone last week. I've been using GitHub Copilot on stream for quite a while now, and there have been many changes to it over time. So like you have like the agent mode now and ask and edit and all that stuff. But something recently that I have been using on one of the hold on, music kind of loud in my ear. There we go. One of the things that one of the projects, the first project I worked on stream, Daily Jewel, is not an open source project for reasons I don't know. It does make some things about like what I check into the repo a little bit less worrisome. But anyway, yeah, that's good. One of the so that project I wanted to come back to. I had it running. So this is like a calorie tracking app. Like you can put in like how many calories did I have for breakfast and lunch and dinner and those sorts of things. So it's something that we worked on stream like 2 years ago, and spent a good amount of time working on. I had it hosted, and then my hosting service that I was using for it, there were some issues, and I pulled it down. I took a backup of it, and I wanted to get it back online. So that's something I did yesterday. I do have a point in how it relates to this, and I'm going to get there soonish. So let's see. Let's find our repository for. Oh yeah, I have to go over here. Godot platformer. There we go. Yeah, this is the Daily Jewel. So with that project, I had a couple of things I needed to do in order to get it going again. Like there's a bunch of stuff that getting it online was not actually that hard because I had like Docker images built from like a year ago, the last time I did a deploy. And those things were all there and in place. But there were things that I felt that were the reason I just took it offline, and it took me several months to get around to bringing it back online, is because I wasn't really using it, because there were some specific things that I wanted to address that on it that weren't being addressed, that I needed, that I felt like were impediments for me to use the app, right? So okay, so a little bit of context there, right? There's this project that I was working on, and I wanted to quickly do a few different things on it. 2, there's a new feature in GitHub that you can do where if you are on the Copilot Pro Plus plan, which if you have a use for it, and I think I have a use for it, to justify, it's several $100s a year to pay for it. But it allows you to take an issue, if you have like an issue in GitHub, and be like, hey, let me assign this to Copilot. And Copilot, so like similar to like other things that have come out recently, it will go off in a separate thing in GitHub's infrastructure and go off and create a pull request to address the issue, right? So I have some pull requests to review for this project. So anyway, okay, that's part 2. And part 3 is that someone I was talking with was saying, hey, that sounds really cool. Are you going to show that on stream? And so what I was thinking about this morning is where I could like do that. And I think maybe we can try it and see how far that gets us. So make the enemy move left and right to each edge of the platform of the terrain without falling over either edge. Oops, there we go. And you know, in the limited amount that I've used this feature, it seemed to like figure things out pretty quickly. So if I assign this to Copilot, so we did push those changes I just made, right? So they're on the main branch. I have 2 branches. Oh, right. It literally just made a branch for me and is making a pull request, right? And so initially it's just like, yeah, I'm working on it. And it makes a empty commit so it can create the pull request. And what it will do is it will update the description as it makes a plan for how it's going to do this. And I would say pretty good success. I think one thing is this does take some time. So I think on average, each of the sessions, and you can actually see what it's doing here as it's getting things set up, is taking like, you know, 5 to 10 to 15 minutes to work through how to solve the problem, check that it solved the problem, those sorts of things, right? So let's leave it to its work. We won't even keep the session. I think honestly, it's kind of more fun not to watch it do its thing, but just come back to see what it's arrived at. So we will see. In the meantime, what else can we do? Let's work on something else. And I think that's the difference between this and like agent mode, right? In agent mode, you are definitely still like engaged. It's going to ask you questions. It's going to ask you, should I continue? Those sorts of things. Where this I forget the exact the branding of it, but whatever. Anyway, this thing where you can assign Copilot to an issue is essentially fully autonomous. So yeah. Anyway, so what else can we do besides enemy movement? Let's go back to Scala draw. So, I saw an interesting thing about doing lights, 2D lights. And that was what I was thinking about when I added this little torch. So what does it look like to have lighting? So if we add, I clicked out of it. That's what happened. So is it under Node 2D? Light 2D. Interesting. So I think I want a point light. Okay. And that exists somewhere in the world. And this needs a texture. Gradient texture 2D, maybe? Can we make a like a radial texture? while I'm messing around with things, let's actually move this over here, and we can see it doing stuff to things. Maybe. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't think so. Blend mode, range, shadow. Shadow's enabled. Okay. What about a noise texture? What does that look like? No? Ooh. Don't mind me, I'm just messing with stuff. Okay, anyway. Let's clear. Do we just need to make a like a radial gradient image and drop it in to the project? Let's see. What software do I have for doing that? Like Krita, maybe? Oh. All right, so let's make a new. Get out of here. Let's create a. This could be like 64 by 64. Yeah. Okay, and then I just want a smooth gradient. Let's see. I gotta remember how to use this tool. It's been a while. Where is erase? Oh, there it is. Wait, I thought I had an alpha channel on this. Preserve alpha? No. Eraser mode. Yeah. Big ol' image, background, and transparent. I could have sworn when I said new image, it yeah, RGB alpha. Very odd. So, let's do radial. Can we just do like... Huh. And this gradient tool, right? Oh, eraser mode off? Yeah. Except other way. It's fun. Oh, I just need to reverse foreground background? Yeah, there you go. This doesn't like me today. Very interesting. I don't suppose Sprite has a gradient tool. Shape radial. Reverse. Aha, okay. I mean, yes, but no. That's closer to what I was looking for. It's very abrupt. Anti-aliasing threshold? What does that do? Ooh, okay. We could do something where it's like to here. Maybe a little bit further, maybe to here. And it's still not what I'm looking for because, well, let's see. Like that could be fine. Can we replace black with transparent? Color to alpha. Nope. Very close though. Colors. Color to alpha. Color picker. Okay. That is weird. Hold on. Is this... Let me just check something really quick. Is this something where I have managed to... Alright, there is transparency. I see. Also, I have very odd behavior there. Okay, I see. It all makes sense now. So I think I must have at some point set the background of the normally in images in like image editing programs you have like a checkerboard background to indicate transparency. I must have gotten rid of that. Something along those lines. Anyway. Can we do something where, okay, so black is actually, wait, can I not set an alpha on the color? Okay, so can we do this with a sprite? That'd be really cool. Let's see. Frame, select sprite, file. Pixel grid. Sure. So I don't think there is like the thing that I want to do in this tool, unfortunately. Oh, you know what? Hey, there's a bunch of tools over here. Let me check here. Paint bucket tool, line tool, rectangle, contour, blur. Blur is interesting. I don't think that's going to be quite right, though. Like, to do that, we would need to, I wonder if this would work. Yeah, like that. All right. Yeah, sure. File, save as. All right, let me find the right folder. Platformer, assets, textures. I'm just gonna save this as a PNG. Gonna be a light. I mean, really, honestly, just radial gradient ent.png. Okay, cool. We did it. All right, and then in we have a thing. Great. And this is what that does. All right. Like you do something like this, right? And then offset texture scale. Yeah, there you go. Now we have a light. Color, energy, blend mode, range. So how does shadow work? I forget. Light 2D will cast shadows. Color shadow. Should it be transparent? I don't know. Let's look at docs. We can close this too. And what's going to be fun is after we figure this out, assuming, yeah, we'll make sure at the end of the stream to check in on our AI generated pull request with our enemy movement and see how that goes. Let's see. So we're looking for some kind of light. Hold on. Light. 2D lights and shadows. I've been here before. All right. Boy, that was a while ago. So we have canvas modulate to darken the rest of the scene. Point light 2D for omnidirectional or spotlights. Directional light 2D for sunlight or moonlight. A light occluder for light shadow casters. Okay. So, or it could be part of a tile map layer. Tell me more. Includes light, but cast by light 2D, casting shadows. Must be provided with an occluded polygon 2D. So in our tile set, or in the map layer, or in something. Let's see. Okay, this is painting. Let's select miscellaneous physics. Where do we? All right, so we have to open the tile resource, and that's where we found the physics layer. Right? Is there something in rendering? Occlusion layers, add element. Cool. So light mask 1. So then, if we want our block here to cast shadows, or our torches for that matter, that could be interesting. Let's do these first. This will be fun and annoying. Rendering. Yeah. Okay. So let's select this tile. Occlusion layer 0, and then we have to paint what is occluding, which is going to be gonna probably have to turn off that snap, yeah? Also, yeah, so disable snap. I'm gonna put this here and here. And the idea is that the torch holder is the thing that will block light. No, undo? Yes. Something like that? Now, paint. Occlusion layer 0. Can we... I guess we can... Okay, so I should have gone to paint mode first. So we're going to paint these blocks. So these will all be occluders. Right? They fully occlude the light. Should be fun. And we could do other things, but we'll do this for now. So we select this, and then I redo the thing I just did. So that I can paint it. Come on. Okay, I have to zoom out to grab that corner. Let's just move everything kind of in the middle. And then we'll zoom in. And I mean, it's fine. We can, it doesn't have to be perfect. Something like that. Aha! And immediately, yeah. So can a tile have a light emitting layer, or do we have to manually like put lights in the world? So there's an occlusion layer, right? And then we can add other things. That's rendering. Enables, disables UV clipping when rendering the tiles. What does that do? I don't know. Custom data layers. type. Okay. So we can put data into the tile. Cool. Navigation layers, terrain sets, physics layer. Okay, so I think what I'm seeing is that we'll have to paint, like we'll have to put point lights for torches, right? But yeah, we can imagine, right? We can move this light. And so now we do have shadows being cast by objects, at least some objects. Anyway, yeah, I like it. The light could be less bright. I think we turn down energy on that. We can also bring down texture scale. So there we go. Okay, then maybe we dial up energy after all. That's nice. And then what we would do is in tilemap layer, let's get out of that. We pick that. Let's put the torch a little higher. Oh, we're in erase mode. Put that there and then erase this one. And then we move the point light to where the flame is. All right, cool. I mean, it doesn't make a ton of sense right now in the context of this. I was thinking that the level and the world here would be a little bit more enclosed. We would do a little bit more. We'll probably have multiple layers of like multiple tile layers. Right, so we have this terrain tile map layer, and then we would do another one that would be probably inside of a parallax 2D to be able to put like background tiles as well. But yeah, that'll be a thing to do. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Let's actually run this and see what this looks like, not in the editor, but in the game. Probably just the same, other than we can be lit up as we jump through the light. Okay. Enemy doesn't hurt us, but we can't walk through it. Okay, cool. So keep all that saved, and we'll commit what we have so far. Update game scene, tile set with new resources, occluded polygons, add radial gradient texture, and import settings. Cool. And we push that up. And then let's go over to GitHub, which maybe has made. All right, so let's see. Copilot here has generated, it's added a complete enemy AI system that makes enemies move left and right across terrain without falling off edges or getting stuck on walls. At least it claims that. So it made an enemy script. We didn't have a script yet for the enemy. And it put it into the scripts folder. Created a character body 2D based enemy with configurable movement speed, implemented gravity and physics integration, added intelligent direction changes when reach terrain edges or hitting walls, included sprite flipping for visual feedback of movement direction. So we had an enemy scene. It added the script. It added raycast 2D nodes for collision detection. And it has a thing where it's checking to see if it should turn around, and it flips the direction and it flips the sprite. Sure. So what is this? What did it do? So it changed the enemy scene, added another thing there. So it added the script. It added ground check and wall check raycast 2D nodes. It maybe this works. We're gonna find out. It created a script for us with speed, on ready, sprite, ground check, wall check. Okay, just like we're doing with using on ready. Has a direction, kind of the direction that it's moving in. It has a ready function when the enemy loads. And then update recast directions is interesting. Okay, physics process. It applies gravity. It checks to see if it should turn around, then it does that. It moves based on its direction and its speed. It plays the default sprite animation if it's on the... This is probably unnecessary. Should turn around. So it says no ground ahead if ground check and not ground checked is colliding. So if it's not about to walk into... Wait. And not ground check is colliding. So ground check... I mean, we'll look at this in the editor because this is based on what the recast is pointing at. So we'll see that. Flip sprite just flips the scale. We'll see if that works. We have some hard-coded numbers here that I'm not sure about, but yeah, it's a start. So let's do this. I think we can update this pull request because we pushed some changes. Oh, right. Let's see. Let's check out this branch, and then we will pull from main. There we go. And then in Godot, reload from disk. All right, so if I just play this, what happens? Okay, well, so far not so good. The enemy is not moving. We didn't ask it to implement like it hurting the player or anything like that, so that's fine too. But I would expect that the enemy would be moving, and it's not. Okay, so enemy scene here. So we have ground check. Doesn't seem right. And wall check. Collision shape. Animated sprite 2D. Okay. Hit from inside. If true, Ray will detect a hit when starting inside shapes. Huh. Let's see. Exclude parent. Okay. Target position. Collision mask. So this is only objects at least one collision in at least one collision layer enabled, and the mask will be detected. Okay. So I think that if we look at the tile set and we look at our tiles and we look at our physics, well, that's that. Do we... Visibility layer is not the same thing. I don't know. This might be going around this the wrong, going about this the wrong way. Where, Well, let's look at the script for the enemy. Oh, what did it change? Oh, I see. It added UID stuff that the Copilot generated thing didn't. Okay, that's fine. Oops, I was gonna look at enemy.gd. There we go. Can we please? There we go. Okay. Wait. Yeah, we're not using tabs anywhere else. Get out of here with those tabs. Okay. So this is not necessary. Let's see. So if it's not on the floor, velocity plus get gravity times delta. Move horizontally, direction times speed. And then move and slide. Speed of 100, direction. Is this? I mean, no matter what, it should be moving. So I wonder if this is a situation where... Yeah, I think our collision... Let's go back to enemy. Our collision shape here is not doing us any favors. Okay, so let's try that. Now will it move? No. That's interesting. It should. Right? So this enemy is attached to this script. And there's a physics process. And this is a character body 2D, and this extends character body 2D. Velocity is direction times speed. Direction is... Huh, that's weird. Let's just check here. Print direction. Also, why isn't using spaces? There you go. Okay. Are we getting something in the console telling us what's going on? No. What am I missing? Like, in the game, we have an enemy, and it's this scene, which has this script. And it is physics process. Yeah. But it's not getting called? Why? Why indeed. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just remove enemy. And then we have the scene with the enemy in it, so let's just add that back. Behold, it's an enemy. And we play. Okay. Success. So I don't know why it was confused, but it's there now. it seems it was deciding it had to turn around. So let's disable all of this for the moment, just to see some non-weird movement. There we go. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Nope, I'm here. You can't come here. I get out of your way, and then you fall, and you're gone. Do you respawn? No, I think the enemies don't, because we're checking for the player tag. Okay. So that's something. Okay. Well, it is about that time to get some lunch. So here's what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to commit all the stuff we have here. Which I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so we changed some spacing of things. We removed some things that were not necessary. So this is what the change accomplished with the enemy. Yeah, I don't see a difference there, so I'm not sure why. Probably I could have restarted Godot, and maybe that would have fixed the issue. Anyway, so we'll commit all that. We're gonna force push, git push force. It said main, but we're not on main. We're on Copilot fix 1. And then what I will do is I will say, so the probably the coolest thing about this feature with GitHub Copilot is that I can review changes, and I can say, I fixed up some issues in the editor, but even still the enemy gets stuck, flipping flipping back and forth and not moving anywhere. So it's going to take a stab at trying to fix that. I don't know in this in a situation where it's a very like there is a physicalness aspect to like the behavior of the thing, how it's going to figure out what to do, but you know, AI. But yeah, you can see it reacts to the review request, and it will go off and do some things. And yeah, like I said, I've had some moderate success with iterating like this, and we'll see what it does. But for now, we're gonna pause on this, and we will go find someone to raid. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So thanks so much for coming and hanging out on the stream today. It's great to have some company as I figure things out and kind of share what I'm doing as I'm doing it.